basically my job, my life is surrounded by cemeteries. I do actual preservation work, so I fix broken headstones, I reset them, but I also do public outreach and education about Florida's African American history, the material culture, which is the headstones, the grave markers themselves. So that's really important to me to tell the story of these folks, particularly with the history, African American history in Florida. A lot of these folks that are buried out here have really interesting stories to tell, and it's very difficult just to identify those by their headstones alone, but the headstones themselves give a lot of clues as to who they were often. Born 1857, so she was born into slavery. This was a handmade grave marker. It's got an anchor on it, so that could suggest a connection to like the sailing world or whatever, like the maritime world. One of the other characters that are here is Matthew Louis. You can see his grave marker straight back behind me. Matthew Louis was in the Union Colored Army during the Civil War. Matthew Louis's grave marker is a federal grave marker, so it helps us understand that he was in the military. It tells his ranking in the military. It provides some really basic information to who he was as an individual. And what's great is because it was a federal Union marker, that there's lots of information online. There are a few people that are in the community that recognize that these cemeteries are a valuable cultural resource. They recognize the significance of sacred spaces to the communities themselves, the living communities. And what's really important is that there's folks that recognize that often these headstones, these burial plots are the last vestiges that these people ever existed on the planet. This bill that is moving forward is really good. It's really good. It is something that they've attempted to do this on numerous occasions, and now it seems to, following the founding of the Zion Cemetery in Tampa, that was sort of the catalyst that really pushed this all forward, and the two legislatures out of Hillsborough County that were really pushing for this. So yeah, I think it's going to do some really great stuff. I think it's going to build a lot of recognition. There are really good laws in place to protect historic cemeteries now. Come to visit cemeteries, to actually go out and visit them. We look at cemeteries as outdoor museums to recognize that some of these people have, there's formerly enslaved people that are buried here at Mount Pleasant. There are the descendants of the formerly enslaved. This is history. History is a constantly flowing, rolling wheel. And this is one facet. This is one spoke of that wheel. These sacred spaces, and so it's a continuously moving forward story that is being told of the community that founded Alachua County, that founded Gainesville. These are the people who built the world that we live in now, that are buried here. And there's something really beautiful and special about being in cemeteries, and I think you will learn to appreciate that once you visit them. It's really important to understand where we come from.